Let's get right into this review for Mickey 17. Alright, so Mickey 17 is directed by Bong Joon-Ho, who I assume needs no introductions as he directed Parasite, which I'm sure is a film many of us are already familiar with. Without a doubt, Mickey 17 was one of my most anticipated films this year, and I'm glad I finally got to witness this narrative on the big screen. And to get right into the main question, what did I think about the story that's presented here? I thought it was pretty solid. By all means, it wasn't perfect, and my expectations were definitely a bit higher for the story than what I ended up actually witnessing on screen, but I still found this to be an all-around fun science fiction film that doesn't take itself too seriously for the most part. Now to start off, let me bring up what I thought were the positives of this film. I'm a huge fan of Robert Pattinson, and again, I think he did another fantastic job as the main lead. He's a remarkable actor, and there are different shades to his acting ability portrayed here with his character at many segments throughout the story. It did take a bit of time for me to get used to him speaking the way he does in this film, but pretty much after a certain point near the end of Act 1, I actually found his voice to be an integral part to the persona that the character Mickey imbues. I also thought all the other cast members did a great job, so props to them for putting on a fun performance. The cinematography and the visuals presented here paired well with the story, and I thought most of the science fiction aspects came through loud and clear without it ever becoming too jumbled or getting lost in the sauce. As for the final positive, I found the central theme about what it means to be an expendable individual for society to be executed effectively within this narrative. Now to get into the negatives, I thought the runtime of 2 hours and 17 minutes was a bit too long for the film. I found the drama to drag on far longer than it needed to at different portions in Acts 2 and 3. The dragged on pacing fused with this simple narrative that had plenty of predictable outcomes are the reasons why I couldn't find myself to justify the film's length. There were certain moments that definitely could have been chopped off in the editing block without having any sort of real impact on the narrative as a whole. I also found several of the side characters to be pretty bare bones. There wasn't a whole lot of backdrop going in for these characters, and you can tell some of them had a hard time staying relevant throughout the narrative, whom I won't bring up for spoilers' sake. As for my final negative, there are a few B-tier science fiction story elements that were unfortunately left either pretty vague or never explained at all. With everything considered, my final score for Mickey 17 ends up being 8 out of 10. It was a solid time. This is probably one of the better science fiction films to come out this year. It did fall a bit short from my personal expectations for this film, but I still found myself having a blast with this story until its conclusion. Thanks for checking this review out. I'll have more coming soon, so stay tuned. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I shall see you on my next upload. But until then, peace.